Hello and welcome to the news at 10 on NTA News 24. We are broadcasting live from Abuja. I am Dennis Adegunloye. Let's begin with the headlines. President Tinubu receives Leadership Award, reaffirms commitment to cushioning hardship caused by fuel subsidy removal. Federal government to support micro, small and medium-scale enterprises in Nigeria. Federal government to increase export volume and global supply of share products, value chains to raise country's GDP. And hot weather conditions. Nigerians express concern over fear of meningitis. President Bola Tinubu has reaffirmed that since the removal of subsidy on petrol, more funds are being made available to directly impact the lives of Nigerians through the three tiers of government. This was when he received an award from the leadership group as the Person of the Year 2023. Salihu Gwanara reports.
This event gave an account of stewardship by way of recognizing individuals and corporate organizations, both in the public and private sectors, for their impact on Nigeria's journey to progress and development. The country's helmsman, President Bola Tinubu, is one of such whose Renewed Hope initiative, particularly on investments in critical infrastructure and social security, caught the attention of the leadership group. Represented by the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, the president assured better days ahead with the commitment of $30 billion in foreign direct investment into the real sectors of the economy, including manufacturing, telecoms, healthcare, and oil and gas.
I have approved the disbursement of 200 billion naira through 3 new special intervention funds established to support Nigerian businesses. The first is a 50 billion naira presidential conditional grant scheme that will provide business grants and loans to traders, vendors, transporters, workers, those in the ICT businesses, creatives, and artisans.
Former Deputy Governor of CBN, Professor Kingsley Moghalu, restated that strategic thinking and a clear defined philosophy are key fundamentals to economic rebirth in Nigeria.
The best way to solve the economic crisis we're in now is simply to understand everything that caused and led to the crisis.
Among the awardees is 22-year-old Awal Salisu, a commercial tricycle rider known as Keke Napep in Kano, who returned 15 million naira forgotten in his keke by a passenger. In Abuja, Salihu Gwanara, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the federal government has assured Nigerians that measures are being taken to cushion the hardship caused by fuel subsidy removal. Vice President Kashim Shettima stated this in a message to the annual pre-Ramadan meeting held in Kaduna. Dauda Mohammed reports.
The Supreme Council for Sharia in Nigeria has brought together Islamic scholars at the Jamaatul Nasr Islam headquarters in Kaduna to rub minds and chart the focus of sermons to be delivered throughout the holy month of Ramadan. The consensus is for scholars to focus their sermons on compassion, charity, unity, and in addition to draw the attention of those in authority to put in more efforts towards overcoming the challenges of insecurity, decadence of moral values, particularly among the youth.
In spite of the formidable challenges facing our nation, we remain steadfast in our commitment to contribute to its success through constructive engagement with key stakeholders at all levels.
The scholars also urge the well-to-do to help government ameliorate the sufferings of the people by extending kindness to the poor and vulnerable to strengthen the bond of brotherhood during and after the period.
The essence is to bring together ulama and people of that are doing the tafsir to direct the ummah to what is going to bring good welfare and overall peace and development of the society.
Vice President Kashim Shettima's message to the occasion was presented by Dr. Hakim Babane.
We are open. If Nigerians believe that they have suggestions or alternatives that they want to work, we would listen.
So we have to rearrange our conduct. We have to be good. We have to check our excesses.
This is the 29th edition of the annual pre-Ramadan meeting in Kaduna. Dauda Mohammed, NTA News.
Vice President Kashim Shettima has stressed the federal government's commitment to supporting operators of micro, small and medium-scale enterprises in Nigeria and creating an enabling environment for them to thrive. The Vice President gave the assurance at the second expanded National Micro, Small and Medium-Scale Enterprises Clinic in Abuja, Ogun State capital. Hakim Jimo reports.
Stakeholders, including captains of industry and operators of micro, small and medium-scale enterprises from across Nigeria, converged on Abeokuta, Ogun State, to be part of the epoch-making second expanded National Micro, Small and Medium-Scale Enterprises Clinic. Vice President Kashim Shettima solicits the support of the people to truly transform the economy of Nigeria and promised that the federal government is sincerely committed to lifting citizens out of poverty through its various intervention schemes.
The national MSME clinics, they are designed to bring the government in close proximity to the people by combining all regulatory agencies under one roof. Each exhibitor present at the clinics today stands to gain from our MSME instant grant of 150,000 naira each. This grant is not only a source of immediate relief for the exhibitors, but also serves as a guiding hand to facilitate their access to loan facilities from renowned financial institutions and other key collaborators.
Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun and others who appreciate the federal government for the choice of Ogun State assured that the state government will continue to leverage on technology to guarantee the ease of doing business.
Achievements in the SME subsector are testament to the visionary policies, interventions and programs that we have implemented by prioritizing investor incentives such as land rebates, improved infrastructure, and enhanced security measures.
Earlier, Vice President Shettima, who was accompanied by Governor Abiodun, inaugurated the modern state-of-the-art at the Kampala facility at Ashiru and Australia.
Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, has assured investors that the federal government is harnessing and expanding its network to partner with profitable ventures such as Netflix to further propagate the nation's culture and promote economic potentials. At an engagement with the public policy team leaders of Netflix, the minister assured that ongoing reforms by the government are to create necessary platforms to boost investor confidence and make Nigeria the preferred destination for foreigners.
Only urge you to please remain within the confines of what you know that is acceptable to us, what you know that is not culturally harmful, what is also not traditionally also harmful to our people, because our culture, our tradition, our way of life means a lot to us. We are doing a process of what we call the reverse japa here. Reverse japa in the sense that in the past it's always that our young people are always leaving this show and going outside the country. We are doing a thing. Our government is deliberately targeting our people to work with international organizations such as yours, international platforms, while remaining in Nigeria.
Leader of the team, Shola Sani, said a partnership with the Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation is key to the nation's rebirth project and strengthening Nigeria's presence on the global entertainment platform with millions of subscribers in more than 190 countries.
We don't want underage subscribers, so you have to be 18 and over. And that means also taking responsibility for what the family is viewing.
Engagements with stakeholders is expected to boost capital injection into Nigeria. Already 125 films and TV series from Nigeria are available on the Netflix platform. The Employees Compensation Scheme, ECS, is in alignment with the Poverty Reduction and Health National Workforce agenda of the Tinubu administration. Managing Director, Nigeria Social Insurance Trust Fund, Maureen Alagoa, hopped on this when speaking about the remodeling role of the agency at the Central Management Performance Review meeting in Abuja. Joseph Otsen has the report.
Off-branch offices are decided.
It has the mandate of taking care of social security of victims of workplace accidents and health challenges. Thousands have benefited from the Employees Compensation Scheme, anchored by the Nigeria Social Insurance Trust Fund, and more will. As management of the fund says, the plan is to expand the scope in line with the present administration's commitment to workers' welfare.
We really need to be known out there in the public space because we have a very good mandate. We're here. In fact, what we're doing here is very much in line with the 8-point agenda of our president.
The remodeling has commenced, and this Central Management Performance Review takes stock of past performance and acquaints regional and branch managers with latest initiatives.
We get to understand what the challenges are, and we ensure that we're able to handle those challenges so that a solution can be raised, so that they can go back and do their work more effectively.
Some of the new operational policies and strategic action plans unveiled by the Managing Director are adoption of the Employees Compensation Scheme ECS Compliance Certificate as part of bidding requirement for contracts in the states, a harmonized ECS central database to forestall double registration, aggressive registration of new employers, and intensification of the occupational safety and health awareness to reduce workplace accidents. In Abuja, Joseph Utsen, NTA News.
The news at 10 on NTA News 24. More reports after this break. Stay with us. You're welcome back. Residents in Lokoja are describing the current hot weather as unusual, and there are growing concerns about meningitis amidst these conditions. Jonathan Omajali explores how the people are coping.
They disturb us and we are disturbing the heat.
The scorching weather in Lokoja has often been humorously likened to hell itself. With relentless daytime sun and oppressively hot nights, residents find themselves in a state of anguish.
No, for 15 years we are in Lokoja. I never experienced of this one. No. It's too much. It's too much, brother.
You have local fans. We have local fans. We can manage the local fans. But the way the heat is disturbing us, we don't normally sleep well at night.
Unbearable. The experience, in fact, it's just unbearable. With children, how do you manage with this kind of heat? They will not sleep, you will not sleep, you will be restless.
The erratic power supply is another concern, forcing many to resort to handheld fans and rechargeable fans in a bid to combat the heat.
Assuming there's light now, you can be managing the heat like that, but there's no light at all.
And the alternative that we use now is to take our bath frequently, maybe before we go to bed, and probably we used to make use of the hand fan. You make use of the hand fan to blow yourself. I know that one is somehow strenuous, it's stressful. For you to be fanning yourself with the fan, how long will you continue to do that one?
Such conditions raise concerns about the risk of meningitis and the need for necessary precautions.
And again, anytime you develop any symptoms of cerebrospinal meningitis, which usually come with stiffness of the neck, and then some drowsiness and all that, then those cases need to be reported to your physician, and then so that prompt treatment can be given to such an individual.
The harsh weather is forecasted to persist until April, when the rainy season arrives. In Lokoja, Jonathan Omajali, NTA News.
Now help has come the way of people suffering from sickle cell disease. Of the Center for Excellence for Sickle Cell Disease Research and Training of the University of Abuja is empowering sickle cell patients, caregivers, and health workers with information on managing the disease with a clinical research and trial of the disease-modifying drug under the accelerated program. Experts say hope is in sight for survivors of sickle cell disease.
Around, I think, 16.5 currently now. The price is increasing, is getting high. The price rate is very high. That of hydroxyurea, at least they've made it a bit cheaper for us in the hospital, but outside is still a bit expensive. And other of our medications like that. So if we can get some NGOs, we can get government support, we'll be very happy.
Accelerated is one of the programs that have already undertaken this study to ensure that the utilization of this medicine in this country for the treatment of sickle cell disease should be well managed and highly accepted by every citizen in this country.
This is something that will reduce the frequency of pain crisis, help your hemoglobin, help reduce the infection rate, and can really help people to live healthier lives.
The sickle cell population in Nigeria is by far the largest in any other African country. Those three things just make a significant microcosm of why this research should occur in Abuja and at this time.
Intending couples are, however, advised to go for genotype testing before embarking on this journey of a lifetime. Let's go to the National Assembly now, and a bill seeking to enhance procedures and strategies for the implementation of international conventions in Nigeria's marine environment for economic empowerment and national development has passed second reading at the Senate. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports.
The maritime-related bill seeks to promote maritime safety and security, as well as provide protection for the nation's marine environment through the repeal and reenactment of the Nigeria Maritime Administration and Safety Agency by expanding its scope.
His jurisdiction extends to crafts flying a foreign flag in the exclusive economic zone, territorial and inland seas, inland waterways, and within the ports of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
This administration created a ministry that is charged with the responsibility of dealing with blue economy. And this was done against the background of the fact that there is the need for us to diversify our economy.
Protection of the marine environment, ship registration and commercial shipping, maritime labor and for related matters 2024. Second reading taken.
Also passed at second reading is the bill from the Senate leader Okoyemi Bamidele, which seeks amendments to the National Assembly Library Trust Fund.
The bill proposes to change the National Assembly Library Trust Fund to the National Assembly Library and Resource Center. Distinguished colleagues, it symbolizes a shift towards inclusivity, accessibility, and the recognition of the evolving needs of our nation's greatest institution.
5 bills passed first reading. Among them is the bill that seeks amendments to the Mutual Legal Assistance in Criminal Matters Act. Meanwhile, Senate says it will investigate the technical hitch that affected electricity supply to the chamber, which caused slight delay to the commencement of plenary.
They've assured us that before 1 o'clock, the light will be okay.
It is the first incident in the temporary chamber used by the lawmakers for plenary. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
In other news, Dutse International Airport is to undergo complete renovation to ensure smooth airlift of pilgrims for this year's pilgrimage. Jigawa State Governor Umar Namadi stated this when he received a joint airport inspection team from the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority (NCAA) and the state's Pilgrims Board at the government house in Dutse. Mohammed Musa Skira reports.
The inspection team was on its routine annual checks on the states of the airport before the commencement of this year's Hajj exercise. Only that this year's inspection came earlier than usual, and that the team says is because it wants the government to take note of its observations and correct them to allow for smooth Hajj operations at the airport. Some critical components of the airport, according to the inspection team's observations, should be overhauled should hitch-free airlifting be recorded at the airport this year. Some challenges the team says have been identified on the runway, the control tower, lighting system, monitoring facilities for accurate weather report, and crew briefing room, among others, which it says must be corrected on time before the exercise commences in the next 3 months.
The Hajj operation, because it requires a lot of bigger aircrafts and the operation in the night, that is why we have to carry out this special inspection. So that's why we have to look at the facilities and make recommendation for what is supposed to be done to make this Hajj operation hitch-free and safe.
Governor Umar Namadi has agreed to do the needful to ensure that nothing is lacking at the airport for smooth airlift of pilgrims in the state this year. He asked the Commissioner for Works to liaise with the team for better understanding of the problem and the best ways to tackle them in good time.
We have a lot of thinking and a lot of plans with the utilization of the airport. So correcting this is very necessary and we must do it. But I think for the Hajj operation, you need to guide us appropriately so that we'll do it and we'll make sure that our pilgrims are lifted from this airport, inshallah.
Even as the state government is holding talks with relevant stakeholders on the conversion of the airport to the cargo airport for broader business opportunities for the state. From Dutse, Muhammad Musa Askira, NTA News.
Nigeria has expressed confidence to demonstrate dynamism towards the actualization of the Rabat process on migration as part of efforts to curb irregular migration in the country. Ruth Aguile reports that the Federal Commissioner, National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons, Aliu Tijani Ahmed, made this point when he received a delegation from the International Center for Migration Policy Development in Abuja.
Nigeria has continued to engage the international community on migration dialogue to pave ways for balanced and comprehensive approaches to address gaps in migration challenges in the country.
A good opportunity for Nigeria to really shape the agenda of
this visit by the delegation of the International Center for Migration Policy Development to Nigeria is to strengthen partnership with the Commission and explore diverse means of curbing the growing trend of irregular migration among young Nigerians. For the Commission, the partnership is timely, as Nigeria gets set to chair the Rabat process with focus on young people who regularly seek for greener pastures outside the country.
By next year, 2025, when Nigeria became the president of the Rabat process, this will be one of the major issues that is going to be tabled before the process. We also want to see that our youth have the access through legal means to go and acquire more knowledge and disseminate the knowledge back to this country.
One of the priorities for us, for ICMPD, will be also to support the efforts of the National Commission and the Nigerian government in developing legal pathways, promoting legal pathways for migration, especially for the Nigerian youth, working together on skills development, skills accreditation.
The Commission is hoping that support from the international community will sustain efforts for reintegration of migrants towards national development. In Abuja, Ruth Aguile, NTA News.
is calling on those proposing for the establishment of new educational institutes to be patient in view of the current economic realities in the country. This was during a public hearing on a bill for an act to upgrade the Federal Polytechnic Umwana to a federal university by the House Committee on Tertiary Education. National Assembly correspondent Mohammed Rabiu Ali reports.
The bill, sponsored by a member representing Afikpo and Ida Federal Constituency of Ebonyi State, Igaruwe Iduma, on the floor of the House leads to this public hearing. Representatives of the NUC, NAPTEC, Federal Ministry of Education and other stakeholders gave their input on the desirability of the move.
We are not establishing a new institution. We are thinking of upgrading the foremost polytechnic in the southeast, established in 1981.
It will not be nice for us to just look at the institution being converted to university. It will add no value.
We know we're already lagging behind as a country. For us to leapfrog and catch up with what is happening, the fourth technology revolution going on,
we must know that right now, our major issue in the country is out of school children. And we have all been moving from one place to another, saying that depending on the figure you use, we can say that we have a range of 10,600,000 to 20 million out of school children. And these are part of the major issue in the major thematic area in the 8 point of Mr. President's agenda, that we must get them back to school. The issue is not all of them will want to go and proceed to do degree in their future. Most of them are out of school and are adult. All they needed is an area they are going to work for few to get their basic education and knowledge, and also where we can attach them to get relevant skills that they can start on them.
The Committee on Tertiary Education put forward its recommendations, querying Federal Ministry of Justice for not honoring the invitation.
I therefore wish to assure you that as members of this committee, will continue to do our utmost best at all times. Also, our doors are always open, and we welcome any positive and important initiative, either in form of bills or motions targeted at improving the standard of university education in Nigeria.
The committee is expected to submit its report back to the plenary for consideration and possible passage. From the National Assembly, Mohammed Rabiu Ali, NTA News.
We'll take another quick break now. We'll be back in a moment.